Avatar: The Way of Water, one of the biggest new movie releases to watch in our home theaters. Well, if you're going to buy it digitally, iTunes, Movies Anywhere, all that stuff, and you're going to stream it, is it any good? Let's take a look at the streaming technicals across a variety of apps. On the Apple TV 4K latest model, I'm plugged into my LG G2 83-inch OLED here, a Dolby Atmos capable setup, and I'm using the Apple Developer Mode debug menu so we can look at the video bit rates, the audio bit rates, and see what a couple of different apps are giving us. We're going to start with iTunes. So iTunes is giving us pretty much all the things that we would expect. Wakanda Forever recently set like a benchmark high for streaming video bit rates. You'd think maybe this movie would be one that they would throw some extra bit rate at, higher quality video and all of that. So what did we get? Well, we're getting 4K, we're getting Dolby Vision, Profile 5, QDH1, all the standard video codec kind of stuff. But our bit rates, average of 25, a peak of about 31. That's really solid. I'm very happy with that. Nothing in the 40s here, but anytime we see video bitrate averages for streaming in the mid to upper 20s, and we see peaks at least into the 30s, where we should feel comfortable that they applied a pretty good amount of bitrate to achieve a quality result in the encoding. And iTunes, to me, generally represents one of the best options to always watch movies via streaming delivery. On the audio side, of course, we do have Dolby Atmos here, and we have our now standard audio bit rate of 770 kilobit. No new record highs or anything like that in the audio department. So pretty solid here. I looked around through the movie. I didn't see anything by the way of shifting bit rates and all of that. It is taller than scope though. It's not quite 16 by 9, but it is much taller presentation than a scope aspect ratio. So all in all, iTunes as usual, thumbs up, looking good. Next up, we'll take a look at Movies Anywhere, who says that we should be playing the movie in 4K Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. And we get pretty equitable results to iTunes here. QDH1 codec, Dolby Vision 5, Dolby Atmos. We're getting everything that we're supposed to get. And the video bit rates, Movies Anywhere usually does pretty well in its video bit rates. No exception here. 25 and 33, they actually beat iTunes by a couple megabit in the peak video bit rate. However, as usual, Movies Anywhere loses out on the audio. We've got 640 kilobit Dolby Atmos, not 770. I probably would still prefer iTunes as my app of choice over Movies Anywhere in this case, but for the movies that it has, Movies Anywhere usually does pretty well. And I can also happily say, like, no problems. I was able to start playback. It ramped right where it was supposed to be. So some of the historic problems that I've noted in these face-offs with Movies Anywhere have not seemed to be occurring in the more recent face-off comparisons. So all in all, not bad. Thumbs up as well for Movies Anywhere. Third, we'll look at Amazon, which is traditionally not a winner, particularly on the Apple TV for these face-offs. No Dolby Atmos here. It is saying UHD HDR, but it's saying 5.1 audio. And so we are getting 4K, we are getting HDR10, no Dolby Atmos. We've got a paltry 192 kilobit audio bit rate, and the video, lowest of the low here. 15 megabit average video bit rate, 17 peak. Man, that's almost, well, not quite half of what we were seeing, at least in terms of peak Amazon compared to iTunes and Movies Anywhere. Amazon, for the most part, remains trash on the Apple TV, and it's one of the last services that I would actually choose to build a library of digitally owned content with. Long story short, use Amazon Prime on the Apple TV for Amazon exclusive content and forget everything else. If you're really basing your consumption of content and purchasing things and all of that in an Amazon ecosystem, you probably don't want an Apple TV. I think you would probably get better results with a Fire TV, a Cube, or whatever using their services. I've been happy with the numbers and the results for the Amazon exclusive stuff, but again, that's it. Don't do anything else with Amazon apps on an Apple TV. And then last, but as you'll see, maybe not least, we'll take a look at Vudu, although I do have to put a little bit of a dig in. I swear, almost every time I go to launch the Vudu app on my Apple TV, it wants me to log in. I wish they would fix that. Give me a little bit more time. It's a real pain. It's like the only app that does that. It continually logs me out in relatively short periods of time. I don't know why. Vudu, come on. Let me log in. Keep me logged in, please. So what are we getting? Well, QDH1 codec, Dolby Vision 5, 4K, ramped right up, all of that stuff. Expected and pluses for Vudu. However, audio, 449 kilobit. That's a good bit off of iTunes. It's the lowest Dolby Atmos bitrate. Video bitrates, though, average of 21. That's marginally right behind Movies Anywhere and iTunes. However, the peak, 41. Man, what did the people encoding on Vudu think that we needed 41 megabits for, that Apple and Movies Anywhere decided that we could keep the peak in the low 30s? I wonder what scene specifically that was they chose to throw the higher bit rates at. I was really hoping to see peaks in the 40s on Apple as well. Didn't get it, but I still would not choose Vudu just because of the peak with the much lower audio bit rate and again the lower overall average video bit rate. So Vudu, I would say, is serviceable. It's a far cry from Amazon. It's way better than Amazon Prime, but I would be opting for one of those other two services, iTunes or Movies Anywhere, over Vudu. Now, I could not test Disney Plus. If you go into Disney Plus, you can see that Avatar: The Way of Water is listed there. However, there's only a trailer. The movie is still in theaters. They have chosen not to put it on Disney Plus yet. I can surmise, or I would expect, that Disney Plus would represent pretty good. Normally speaking, Disney Plus hits the 770 kilobit Dolby Digital audio. It hits a little bit lower in the video bit rates, but it's quite a good service to use. When the movie does finally release on Disney Plus, of course, I'll take a look at it and maybe update in a comment or a future live stream. Avatar: Way of Water, did you buy it digitally? Where are you watching it? What box? What app? How do you feel about the quality for the video and the audio? I remain soundly in the Apple camp here. Apple TV, buy it from iTunes, watch it on the Apple specific iTunes Movies app, and you will be assured to probably have the best possible technical streaming experience that you would be able to hope for in the home. I'm still hopeful for WWDC this year, hoping for big news in the streaming quality technical front. We'll see what happens. So sound off in the comments. Let me know where you are consuming Avatar: The Way of Water. Of course, if you're a physical media fan, you're going to be waiting for a little while. This movie is on Kaleidescape, where the Kaleidescape download is a whopping 103 gigabytes. So will this get put on a BD100 when the 4K Blu-ray release comes out, or will we have an Avengers Endgame here where they're going to compress this thing down and stuff it on a BD66? Time will tell. If you liked the video, you found it helpful, please like it, share it, comment, and hit the bell for notifications. Look down in the description for some ways to support the channel, super thanks, affiliate links, all of that kind of stuff. Come on back for more home theater discussion, technical comparisons, and all kinds of fun. Thank you so much.